the other GoPros. Hey guys, welcome to the vlog. Cory Robin here. We are going to do a live stream here in a few minutes. And one of the things that I'm gonna do that's a little bit different that I haven't done before is I'm gonna show you.
This is Chris West. Say hi, Chris.
Hey, how's it going?
There's Jason. You've seen him before, but we're gonna introduce you to him as well.
Oh yeah, I blurred that on purpose because of driver's license, or license plate?
License plate.
There we go. So yeah, I'm gonna do a, oh man, it's been cold, so I'm gonna do a walk around the Cub, show you some of the cool features that I really love about my Carbon Cub, some of the modifications I've made to it. We're actually at the airport, so we're gonna do some flying as well. So I thought I'd show you kind of the process behind one of the live streams. This is new to us, and we're trying to figure everything out. The most challenging aspect of the live streams is the internet connectivity. When you're out in remote locations, having an internet connection is the biggest problem with a live stream. So we're gonna figure all that out so we can bring you live in the backcountry, probably over satellites and stuff. It'd be really cool. Thank you for joining. Hit that like button if you like this video. If you want, subscribe. I think you should, so you can see all this awesome stuff we're doing. What do you think, Chris?
I think you should subscribe. I'm a pretty cool guy. Cory's kind of a cool guy. We do a lot of cool stuff.
We're gonna have some fun doing it too.
Oh,
which
yeah.
is fun.
Always.
Okay, let's get on with the video. Boom! Let's go flying.
What are we doing, Cory?
Well, in order to stream to YouTube, let me get out of the sun there. In order to stream to YouTube, you gotta copy and paste all kinds of hashes and stuff to do the RTMP streaming. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm getting ready to hopefully stream through this GoPro, through a wireless device on board the aircraft that we're not gonna disclose yet until we know whether or not it works, because I don't want you guys going out and buying something that's gonna be a POS. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. Supposed to be live here in about 10 minutes, so we're gonna get started early. It's cold here in Utah. I'd say we're in the upper 30s. It's cold. It's legit cold.
Wax on, wax off, wax on, wax off, wax off.
Connecting, connecting, it is connecting. Okay, so if I select RTMP and click Setup Live, let me get a little closer to the Wi-Fi. Oh, I'm gonna check the bars too. Let's see, full signal on that bad boy, which is awesome. Okay, so it's connecting, 720. Do you want me to save a copy in high res?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna hand you this. Hold two cameras. If Jason ever finishes what he's doing, maybe he can take one of them.
Never.
But it might be good for you to hold them both. Dude, that was the easiest so far. Probably because it has a full signal. All I have to do is click go live and it's ready to go.
Nice.
But we're like 8 minutes early. So this is Ghost. This is my Carbon Cub EX. This is the first kit plane, the EX models that Cubcrafters has come out with. It's basically identical to the Carbon Cub SS, but this is the home-built experimental version. As you can tell, I like things that are big. These are the biggest tires you get. I've had a lot of people ask me, well, why do you have tires so big? And I can kind of joke. I say, well, because they don't make any bigger. If they made 40-inch tires, I'd put those on. If they made bigger than, these are the 35 Alaska bush wheels. For me, what I do in the backcountry, they just are an easy button. Like I can run over really large rocks and not really worry about the terrain. Winter's coming, and I will land on snow in these. Not too deep of snow, but if it's nice, soft stuff. The stuff you want to avoid when you're landing on snow is if there's a crusty surface and then soft stuff underneath. That's really scary. That you want skis to do, but you know, you got 6-7 inches of snow that doesn't have a crust on it. You're good to go with these big tires. And then of course you've seen me land on little islands and rocky beaches and all kinds of crazy fun stuff. So big tires are awesome. I also have Shock Monster shocks. That is a huge upgrade. You know, as far as return on investment, and if you have an experimental aircraft, that is probably the single most important upgrade that you can do on your airplane, other than maybe more horsepower. But shocks are amazing. These are the TK Shock Monster shocks. This is an earlier model because I was one of the early adopters. They have several different revisions of this that are available and maybe a little bit better than these, but these just work so good that I haven't really touched them. So Shock Monster shocks, tell your friends. I'm holding on to a Also an aftermarket propeller. This is not the stock Kato that comes on the Carbon Cub. This is the Whirlwind. It's an 82-inch ground adjustable propeller. And one of the reasons why I like the ground adjustable propeller, the ability to adjust your propeller for different scenarios. So for example, when I did the STOL competition at Oshkosh, I take almost all the bite out, flatten the prop out, and it really gives you that acceleration punch to basically get off the ground. But then you're over revving as soon as you're at flight speed. So as soon as you get to like 30 miles an hour and you're in the air, you're pulling back on the prop because you don't want to over rev the motor. But really what matters the most is that initial 3 seconds when you go from 0 to flight speed. You want as much acceleration as possible to get this mass moving. One of the big differences between the EX and the EX2 is the Aileron design. It was designed to be a lot lighter on the controls. And I found with the EX, you can actually loosen your flying wires a little bit and it really lightens up the control. And if you can deal with that little extra slop so that you have to actually move your stick about an inch before it becomes effective, or maybe a little less than an inch, you're gonna have a lot lighter control forces needed to overcome just the friction of the wires itself. I have installed these gap seals in both the rudder. So you see this piece of foam in here that seals. It prevents air from basically moving through there when you reach critical angle of attack. And so air will actually leak through there and you lose some effectiveness, or at least that's the theory. I did notice, especially on the elevator, it does make a big impact on the elevator. And that's just a piece of foam that you literally just push in there. I think it's time to go flying. What do you guys think? Who wants to go flying? Yay, let's go flying.
Clear! Purrs like a kitten.
All right. See you later, Chris.
Final 3-4 South Valley.
So I've also got, you'll be able to hear the radio calls and the other people talking as well. Oh, you're gonna want to see this. There is an L-39 Albatross gonna taxi right in front of me here, and we'll follow him to the flight line. Check this out, right from left to right, an L-39 Albatross.
Northwest towards Twilla.
Check that out, that's pretty cool.
I'll extend my crosswind a little bit for you.
South Valley traffic, Black Cubs, line up and wait, runway 34, we're staying in the pattern.
People are like going, oh. So this takeoff, I'm actually gonna do the no flap takeoff first.
16 Romeo, crosswind 34.
All right, here we go. So no flaps on this takeoff. We'll get the throttle worked up, 40 miles an hour, 45, lift it up. So that's a no flap takeoff. That is the kind of takeoff you'll probably never do in a Cub, but one of my friends wanted me to do it. I noticed probably about 250 feet before I lifted off the ground, which is a long, long ways in Ghost. A long, long ways. So to be courteous to the other aircraft in the pattern, I'm actually gonna turn my crosswind. As soon as I see that downwind traffic, beam my left wing. That's one thing I try to do, is always stay as courteous as possible in the pattern.
HR1 Victor Alpha's on a wide left base, 3-4.
South Valley traffic, Black Cub is left crosswind, runway 34, have the downwind traffic in sight.
All right, so we're left crosswind now. Those guys are flying a really wide pattern, way too wide for me. So I'm gonna slow the airplane down, get her nice and slow. I'm doing about 70 miles an hour over the ground right now, and I'm gonna fly my normal pattern inside of their pattern, just because if I was flying their pattern, I would have to go fast, and I wouldn't have gliding distance to the runway. And so they're a good mile further out than I am. So I'm now on a left downwind.
Turning left base on 3-4.
I have clearly the two aircraft in front of me in sight. I have the one that just called his left base. And then I'm number 3, it looks like. Now I'm indicating about 50 miles an hour with 1 notch flaps in.
Just going slow. There's one aircraft about midfield on the runway. Looks like he's starting to accelerate in a touch and go. There's a Black Hawk on Hotel 3. I'm just explaining these to you, so I kind of run through the situational awareness protocol in my mind when I'm in the pattern, especially when it's super busy, as I'm constantly talking to myself about where all the other aircraft are. Now there's an arrival on the numbers in the flare. That's that twin-engine Diamond diesel aircraft. It's got one on about a 1.5 mile final. Traffic 16 Romeo, take base for 34, full stop, South Valley.
Okay, 16 Romeo, is that?
Archer 50 Echo, turning left final for 34, full stop, South Valley.
All right, that's that Archer on final. I'm gonna put another notch of flaps in just so I can go super slow. I'm doing about 50. I have tried sailplane flying as a passenger, just for fun. I've flown a sailplane as a passenger, just for fun.
Block Victor Alpha's clearing Alpha.
You know, if I'm going 50 miles an hour and I'm going slow, I have tons of control. Like right now, I'm indicating 40 miles an hour. And over the ground, I'm doing about 55, but I'm on downwind, so there's a little tailwind going.
Final 34, number 2 for landing.
I usually, when I'm alone and it's light, my airplane, I'll approach at really slow speeds. Now, to be courteous to these other aircraft in the pattern, I'm going to keep the speed up now. So now I'm turning base behind this, it looks like a Cherokee. He's going to be flying probably about 20 miles an hour faster than me, so I'm going to just kind of cut the corner here, just so that there's not a huge amount of space between him and I like to keep a good comfortable distance between me and the airplane in front of me. Which Cub model is my favorite? You know, mine is. I don't know, love the one you're with? I actually really love the Carbon Cub EX. I've flown all of them. I've flown the SS, I've flown the EX2, I've flown the FX3 at EX3.
Is going to be taking off taxiway Alpha. We'll be following a Piper Cub that just turned base and final. South Valley traffic.
All right. And so we still have the yes, it does look so much better, Brian. I apologize for what's going on. Looks like
16 Romeo, go around, 34.
16 Romeo's going around, so I'm going to just expedite to the runway. And I'm going to land nice and short for you, so you can kind of see what a bush landing kind of looks like. And I'll kind of guesstimate as to, you know, how short the landing might be. I might be able to get her down in less than a couple 100 feet today. Now I'm going really fast. I'm doing about 60 miles an hour right now over the threshold here.
South Valley 633 Romeo departing the pattern on a 45 toward Harriman, South Valley.
South Valley Black Cub, short final now, 34.
All right, so now I'm on short final. I'm going to start coming back on the power. I got to get her slowed down, going really fast here. Okay, so now I'm at my speed. Just kind of bump the power up just a little bit to get on the runway. Here we go. There we go. All right.
Traffic 16 Romeo, crosswind 34.
And stopped before the numbers, guys. Woo! That right there is about 150 feet. So let's take off again. Here we go. This is a STOL takeoff. There's 35, pull it off the ground, leave 2 notches of flaps in, climb out at 50 indicated, nice and steep. I'm gonna turn an early crosswind for the, looks like an Apache right there trying to get out of the pattern. And we're gonna ease out on the flaps just to go faster. Push the nose over a little bit so we can work the pattern a little faster. Be courteous for our brothers. All right.
South Valley traffic, Black Cubs turning an early left crosswind, runway 34 for traffic.
Because I can see that airplane that went around is already on the midfield downwind. And we want to be courteous. Keep the spacing.
Taking out taxiway Alpha to Hotel 3. We'll make a left downwind departure toward Harriman, South Valley traffic.
I can see the field now. It's a little hazy.
Traffic lands 29 or 905 Quebec.
Hi, Mom.
34 for departure.
Somebody's saying hi, Mom. Okay, I'm going to turn the camera around. You're going to see some a lot of haze here at the very beginning of the video. And then as I turn on final, it won't quite be so bad. But I want to turn the camera now because this is a backcountry landing. And I don't want to be messing around with it while I'm trying to fly the airplane. So I'm going to get it turned around.
I got a couple more minutes before I have to get serious about the business. Because the sun is going down a little bit, and at least it didn't say retard, retard. No doubt, Grant, that's so funny. It's not a French ground proximity warning system. Okay, so right up ahead, you'll kind of see slightly to the right is my landing spot. The sun is in a good position for this landing.
Obstacle ahead. Pull up.
I know there's an obstacle. I'm landing. Okay, so I'm going to come back on the throttle. I can see the little ridge line I want. There's a lot of smoke in the air. There's a lot of the smoke coming from those fires in California. So shout out to the guys in California that are suffering with those fires. If you can, donate some money to the California Wildfire Relief Funds. There's several of them. The Red Cross is a good one. All right, so we're in shadow on the field that we're going to land on. It's just off our right. I'm on kind of a modified right base. I'm going to turn my final now. Here is, it's kind of a challenging little strip. There's some big rocks on it, and you got to land nice and short. But as you can see, I can do that. Here we are. Finally, I can see because of the brightness and the contrast. Okay, looking for rocks. All right, here we go. There we go. We're on the ridge. Keeping the tail off out of the rocks and down. That is so fun, you guys. Thanks for coming along on my bush landing. I think that's all we're going to be able to do with this sun going down. So I'm going to head back to the airport. I'll get the airplane. I'll taxi back, turn back around, and we'll take off and head back to the airport. What do you guys say? What do you think? Come on. Am I still streaming? Man, you guys. Here we go. I'm going to take off again. Here we go. Get her pointed into the relative wind. It's an uphill, complex takeoff. So I'm going to get the throttle all the way up, release the brakes. Let's get that tail up so we can see in front of us. There's a big rock right there. Let's get out of that. Whee! All right, we're off the ground. Accelerate the best angle. Pitch it up, and we're back in the air. Yeehaw, baby. Woo! Bush flying. It's the best thing in the whole world. Ah! Okay, let's head back to the airport. Sun's going down. Hey, thanks for joining me on this.
7 miles.
I sure hope you have enjoyed it. Please share my channel with your friends. As I grow, our capability to deliver great content to you is increased. So I sure appreciate everybody watching today. Man, how fun is that?